Hello, and welcome, friends, to another hopefully fantastic episode of Rewind 89. Today, we are going to be playing some Tales from the Loop, and we're going to take a quick moment to say hi. Everybody, just a little, hey, how you doing? Who are you? Who are you playing? And how about for today's question? What do you think your character's favorite movie is right now? Yeah. Yeah, what's that going to be? Jess looks like they are so ready. So how about we start with Lauren?
Oh my gosh.
What? What's happening?
Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, who you're playing, and what's Bev's favorite movie?
First of all, how dare you pull that switch on me? Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm that salty ginger over on Twitter and half of Salty Sweet Games here on Twitch. I'm playing Bev Carlson, who is the troublemaker, and all I can think of right now is that Lauren's favorite 80s movie is a tie between The Thing and Nightmare on Elm Street, so those are Bev's too. Deal.
Excellent choices. Thank you so much for joining us today and for introducing us to our troublemaker, who I guess it's really appropriate that her favorite movie is that. Let's flip it out over to Gabe. How's it going, buddy?
Hi, I am fantastic. I am Gabe James Games. I am playing Lowen, who has an amazing nickname that we haven't gotten to yet, but we will. I think Lowen's favorite 80s movie is probably My Neighbor Totoro, because it would have come out just a year ago. And it's about a large creature that you gotta have a friendship with, and I don't know if Lowen relates to Totoro more or the little girl. I think
That's
mine. I think mine is it's either Back to the Future or Goonies, one of those two.
Those are amazing choices.
Yeah.
Just those a classic, honestly, iconic for that era, and hopefully for now as well. If you haven't watched those movies, please go check them out. And okay, Lauren, not Lauren. Lauren, you already went. You want to go again, Lauren? Jess, I'm looking at Lauren, but I was trying to say Jess.
You got
you're
me
up.
so good with that gag. Was so I was like, wow, okay. Hi, I'm Jess, going to CGG and all the places. I'm playing Billy, who is the rocker. And I'm gonna say, I had to think about it for a second. I'm gonna say that Billy's favorite movie is Ferris Bueller's Day Off, because it's just ultimate hijinks, and then that one music scene and everything like that. It's just, nonstop fun. So
For sure. That is another quintessential like 80s film that you should all end up watching. Pretty good one there. And last but not least, what up, Paul?
Hello, I am Paul. I will be playing Thomas, or Tommy. He's the popular kid, but not based on his action, more of his stature. He's kind of a rude individual, but secretly he just wants some friends and some time away from his family. When asked what his favorite movie is, he will definitely tell anybody movies are stupid and will rot your brain. So no movie is good for you, but secretly absolutely loves All Dogs Go to Heaven,
Oh my gosh.
which came out, and I looked it up. I'm not that smart.
You're good. What a great movie. Also, I'm so sad now.
Yeah, he loves. He also, just a little tidbit, his family doesn't allow pets. They say it's a distraction.
Oh, interesting. Well, I mean, no wonder why he watches that movie then, probably on repeat whenever possible. Probably has had to go through like 2 or 3 tapes of it. It's because he just watches it that much. But we do stand Thomas, who actually did some pretty cool stuff last session. But before we jump in to tonight's episode, we are going to do a little of that fun pre-show stuff, especially if we have some new folks joining us tonight. So if you're not familiar with Tales from the Loop, I'm going to explain the rules real quick, not as long as last time, but we definitely also want to take a moment to thank the Awkward Company, who is our sponsor for the show. Thank you so much. The Awkward LLC, or the Awkward Company, is a media company focused on elevating content creators and assisting in their production value and growth. So thank you so very much for your help there. That allows all of this to happen, which is great. And another thing, as far as compensating the players goes, we also have what's known as the challenge bar, and I didn't have that keyed all ready to go, but I'm just going to type that down there. Boom. If you feel like you are enjoying the game today and you like what you see here and you just want to support all of these adorable faces, hit us up on that challenge bar. When we hit a full bar, it means that you have now impacted the game in some way. You have increased the level of difficulty. There is a challenge that is going to be hurled on to all of the kids, and hopefully they'll overcome it. And if they don't, oh well, there's going to be some consequences, and that is all because of you. So, first, thank you so much for making those challenges happen. We had 3 last session, and they were pretty wild. One was going to be bad, but again, Thomas did a fantastic job on the dice rolls and ensuring, like, oh no, don't touch the metal thing to the broken electric thing. Yeah, you definitely don't want to do that. Smart move. Big move there. So, Tales from the Loop is based on the imaginative art from Simon Stollenhag and converted into a tabletop role-playing game by Free League using the Year Zero system. It takes place in the 1980s that never was, and you'll find plenty of things familiar with the setting that give you that excellent 80s nostalgia feel, but with a little extra dash of sci-fi elements mixed in. In our case, we are kids aged 10 to 15. I think everybody here is 13 and 12, so that we've determined they're all in the 8th grade. The year is currently 1989, and we live in a town called Hawthorne Heights, which is in the northern suburbs of the city of Chicago. What is important to know about the loop, aside from the weird things that go on, it's mainly due because of the loop in Tales from the Loop itself. And if you don't know what that is, the loop is a prodigious particle collider operating deep underground. And looming in the backdrop of Hawthorne Heights are 3 massive nuclear exhaust towers. They're just kind of ever present. They've been there since like the 70s, kind of like the 60s, 70s, right? And they're just there. You can't go to them. You really don't know what they do, but everybody works there. The whole place employs somebody you know, somebody you love, whether it's a parent or a teacher, a cousin. Like, everybody knows somebody who works for the Loop. It's a big town, but it's also a small town and very much connected thanks to the company Rick Synergy, who developed, created, and operates the Loop. So here's what I'd like to do. Before we kick in, and the format of the Tales from the Loop show here is we're going to spend about an hour letting the characters grow and develop scenes with each other, explore the town, do whatever they want, essentially. Then the second hour of the show, I'm going to kind of borrow that camera back, and we're going to direct into the mystery a lot more. But what I would love to offer any of you, whoever wants it, you will get one reroll, one free luck, essentially, that you can use today and today only if you take the time to recap us on what happened last week. Gabe's like, mm-mm.
I don't want it.
Lauren, do you want to do it?
Do I want to do it? I think I can, but if you want to do it, Jess,
No.
do it.
Please feel free. Please feel free.
You should do it.
Go ahead.
You know what? I think this is a sign. I think Paul should do it. So
Trust me, if I do it, we're gonna have a whole different show.
You know what? I
Because I
can do
don't
it.
remember any.
I'll do it.
You want to do? You
do
want to do
it,
this?
Gabe.
All right.
Yeah.
Based on doodles. Based on doodles.
Oh my God, you have the doodles. All right, the stage is yours, Fred.
All right. So the game started out with Lowen wanting to make friends. So he drew a picture of himself as king of friendship. But then there was a moon and stars. I don't know why I drew that. But so we had a group of the four kids. We had Lowen, the weirdo, Billy, the rocker, Thomas, the smart jerk, and Bev, the tough one. We were hanging out in our hideout, which is basically a what's that word? Someone who's smart. What's the word?
Derailed train car.
Thank you. That hanging out in the derailed train car, thinking about something happening, and then we saw shooting stars. I think.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep. You
yeah.
saw something just
Saw
crash
something
from the
crash into the
sky.
ground, and then we were trying to figure out what to name our hideout. And originally, we were going to call it the Hole, but decided that probably wasn't a good idea. So we decided to call it the Ox. And there was a yeah. There was a picture for our ox logo, which is an ox cord with bull horns because it's like the ox. But then we heard a scratching sound outside, so we went outside and saw like a robot like figure, but we weren't sure what it was. Oh, also, Thomas was being a square, so I drew him as a square. But we heard a scratching thing outside, and we didn't know what it was, so it could have been a monster demon thing. But we went outside, and it was a robot person. It was they were very boxy, but that's okay because being boxy isn't such a bad thing. Oh hell, my picture stopped. Um,
And that was it.
Probably because you almost got electrocuted.
That's right. We talked to the robot. We learned that the robot repeated things back that we said, but it could understand us. It just had to hear things to learn. And then Lowen was like, well, you know what? They need help. They need power. So he went and got a cord and then plugged it into the robot and then kind of got flung backwards. And then there was a shortage of power, blackout everywhere. But that's not bad.
Yeah, no, not bad at all. We left off with that scene of the kids recovering from this just electric blast of trying to connect an alien to the shoddy old probably established back in the 50s tapped in power line that the power shouldn't be out in the middle of nowhere, right? So it already was going to fail at some point, and it knocked out the entire power grid of Hawthorne Heights, who spent the evening submerged in darkness. I believe we were going to have all of the kids, being kids, again, aged 12 through 13, would do exactly what any kid would do when that were to happen. They hightailed it. They got out their bikes and head home, because that's where they should have been in the first place. So, we're going to start off with having some player scenes. Now, Gabe, you had expressed that you wanted a scene. Would you like us to start that?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, I'm going to go ahead. You set this up. You let me know what you're looking for and what you want. Go ahead and set it up. And we'll
All
play.
right. So Lowen probably walks into his parents' bathroom. Dad is in the garage practicing guitar. And mom is in the bathroom, like putting on her makeup. She's got a beautiful pink blazer. Her hair is up and in curls. There is like, she's putting on like lipstick and such. And then like Lowen walks up next to her and picks up his purple lipstick and starts putting it on. So, um, Mom, I met a robot the other day.
Oh?
Yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
they seemed friendly and they didn't know a whole bunch. And
I don't know how to make up. I don't know why I'm pretending to mock makeup this. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with my face. Sorry.
me neither.
Great. Nailed it.
I legit thought you had something in your eye.
I'm role playing.
I'm sorry.
So you met a robot?
Yeah, they're very nice. We call them Jib. Yeah, Jib. Oh, and then he like runs out and runs back with his notebook. They're kind of boxy, like a TV.
Oh. Are they your age? Are they from the neighborhood?
I don't know. I think they came from space, or a military installation.
Oh, well, you do know that we have a very big military base out here. So, is it a new kid then?
I wonder if they are a kid. Maybe. Hmm. Well, they were like low on power though. So I don't know.
She's kind of still just like, just working on her face that I'm just going to stop pretending to know how to do. And like the gears are kind of turning in her head, right? She's listening. You two have done this often, probably since you were a child, and you first wanted to play with mom's makeup, and your mom, being just the very free spirit that she is, has always encouraged you to participate with her. It was never like, no, Lowen, you can't be doing this. It was just always, ooh, here, use this one, or like she'd maybe like switch out the more expensive one for like the not like the TJ Maxx one, like yeah, use this. And she's like, she's just processing the words that you're saying, and being a teenager, assuming other things about this. Do you think that you want to invite your friend over for dinner?
Can I?
Of course. Our home is always open to anybody who you call friend, because your friends are my friends too. And she'll like reach over to you and just like pat your face, just like real quick.
Okay. Yeah. I'll have to go check on them though. I don't know if they have enough power, but if so, yeah. Can I have other friends too? Can I invite all of them?
You can invite. Oh, Lowen, you can invite whomever you want. Would you like pizza, or I can cook for you?
If you can cook, that'd be great, because I don't know if anybody has allergies or not, and I want to check first, because I don't want them to get sick and die when they come over and hang out.
Oh, that's very smart. So you figure out what their allergies are. We can schedule a day, and I will make sure to make the best dinner for you and your friends. Oh, I'm so excited for you.
Okay.
Look at my good boy with just the biggest heart. You tell your friend Jib if they are low on power. You will be their power. Okay?
So wait. So should I not use cords?
And there's almost like a little twitch right in the eye for a moment. Again, as she's processing the words coming from her sweet baby's mouth. Well, here's what I'll tell you about cords, okay? Don't just plug any cord into strange circuits. Okay, sweetie?
And he walks out. And then you see him like making like pictures of cords and then drawing like big X's over them when drawing pictures of like Jib.
Perfect.
And then there's a picture of like Jib that's like Godzilla size stomping on a town because he thinks that he gave him too much power and made him huge.
Which is great, because we don't really know what happened to Jib in the time that you all freaked out and ran home.
Yeah, Gabe is concerned.
Is that all? Is that all you wanted to do, dear friend?
I think he also wants to run by his dad real quick.
Okay.
Dad,
just jamming out. Probably like. You tell me, what is your dad like? We got to see like what your mom is kind of like. What's your dad like?
Dad, very earth, wind, and fire. Like, this man has a fro, and there's like probably an electric guitar, a bass guitar, a drum set. Man probably records his own stuff just like for fun.
Absolutely. Just like the garage is probably just set up as like the studio, right? The car isn't ever parked in the garage, but there's definitely some type of like shag carpet.
Yeah.
And it's just like a recording studio almost. Like just both parents are pretty free spirited in that way.
can I borrow one of your leather jackets? Because I want to look cool.
Yeah, kid, here. And he'll like kind of like set the guitar down and flip his his headphones up. And he'll go walk over to like the closet and just kind of like take a moment to kind of, size you up a bit. And
It's definitely gonna be still too big, but I'm okay.
it's totally worth it, right? He kind of like flips through and he's like, yeah. And he's gonna pull out this like this white, just this brilliant white leather jacket. There's studs all over it. Like, it is super glam rock, but it is so very like perfect for Lowen, right? Definitely a little on the big side. And so, he takes it down and he's just kind of like, just a little heave ho at you and tosses the jacket your way.
Thanks. Magnum out. I just gotta run out of the house.
And he just kind of like, he's a little confused with that, but like, all right, see you, kid. And he just puts the headphones back on and you just hear, and he just starts jamming out again.
That's my dad.
Oh,
That's
no one's
it.
got the best parents. Let's be real. All right, then. Let us shift. Oh, my gosh. Lily42. What? Thank you so much. And I also saw, hang on. Lady Purple. Thank you so much. With your powers combined, you have created the first challenge bar of the evening, which is absolutely fantastic. We're going to figure out where that's going to get slipped into. But thank you so much for your support here. Who's up next? Who would like a scene?
I'll go.
You want to go? All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead and who do you need for this scene?
Just my dad.
Your dad. Okay, fantastic. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about Mr. Carlson?
Yeah, I think Mr. Carlson used to work at the Loop, but has been laid off recently, so he's been home a lot. Mostly drinking. That's mostly what he does. Mostly just like watching TV, I think. And Bev usually tries to limit interaction as much as she can, but she's 12. So
Right.
What are you gonna do?
Okay. So that's it. You come home, whether it's from after school or just going out on the weekend. What time of day are you coming home at?
Probably what time of year is it again? What are we saying?
It's springtime.
Spring?
End of the school year is kind of coming up.
Okay, cool. I think she comes home around 8:30.
Okay.
Just basically like stayed out as long as there was just a little bit of light.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you see your dad, who is just, kicked up in his lazy boy. And it's like one of those like old lazy boys, right?
Yeah.
Definitely just has like the arm impressions because he's just used it forever. It's plaid. It's, it's very 80s. It's kicked up. It's got like the wooden, gear fucking shifter. I don't know what the fuck that thing's called. Whatever you use to make the legs kick up. It's just like this big chunk of like cherry wood. And he's got his like hold socks kicking up on it. And he's got a beer in the one hand, the remote control in the other. And the TV's just on blaring. Some probably sports. It's probably baseball season. And because your dad's a shit, we're gonna make him a Sox fan. If nobody's from Chicago, that just doesn't. That joke doesn't land, but I'm also a Cubs fan, so it's great. But just so you know.
Yeah. So I think Bev comes in and she wouldn't call it sneaking, but she's definitely like making herself small, making herself quiet, just to like walking on eggshells, so keeping it all level.
Okay. For whatever reason, actually, you know what? Let's make this happen for you. Go ahead and roll me a sneak.
Okay.
because you're trying to be on the quiet side.
Yes, I get to roll all my dice for that.
Ooh.
One success.
One success. Excellent. So you are able to make your way past your dad. You know, you've kind of like kicked off your shoes, and you know your own house. You know which area of the floor is gonna just have that squeak enough that'll let him know that you're home. And so you're able to completely evade that. What are you trying to do here? What are you doing? Where are you going?
Yeah, I think she's basically grabbing anything out of the fridge just to have something for dinner, and then going upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think you see like there's probably like as you open up the fridge, right? There's a bunch of like tinfoil stuff, a lot of like leftover whatever was made last night. Meatloaf is usually pretty easy.
Yeah.
You find a couple fruits and vegetables, but a lot of it's like just the pre-packaged processed foods. There's a couple TV dinners that you could always easily just like yoink out and take with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think she grabs that and she heads up to her room, which is kind of like her sanctuary almost.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's got like twinkle lights up. It's a lot softer than I think most people would think Bev's room would look like.
Okay.
Very much like it would be like a tree house if it were actually anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But she puts a chair up under the door just so like if he comes up here she has time to like hide anything that she, like cigarettes,
Mm-hmm.
which she will probably be smoking. And she puts on some music, not as loud as she would like, but kind of sits on her bed and just takes one of her many writing journals out that she like hides in like various nooks and crannies in the room. I think this one is maybe on top of like a beam above her bed.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So she has to like jump up and get it and jump up and put it back. But she brings that down and just starts like writing out, the events of the day as if it were almost like a comic book. She doesn't do the drawings because it's not her area, but she like writes the captions, and yeah, that's how I think Bev spends her night.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else that you wanted to do? That you wanted Bev to do here?
Kind of.
What are you looking for?
I kind of want to sneak out and go see where that meteor fell, that toxic meteor.
Oh. Okay. Let's do that. Go ahead and roll me another sneak.
Yeah, I think this time she goes out the window. I think she's got like, like one of those like slanted roofs, and it like drops into.
I had a friend that had that.
Bushes
the easiest
or something.
exit.
Yeah. Yeah. Come here, dice. Come here. Roll better. Or the same. I will accept either. 3 successes for sneak.
Wowzers. Okay. So, I think we see like how the camera shifts in the scene. We watch as Bev's fingers go underneath the window and just flip the window up, and you just again, this is your house. This is not your first time doing this, and you just like the camera shifts outside, and it's just kind of almost like like frozen in place, and it's just watching you just kind of climb out the window, land on the roof, walk over to the side. You kind of already had like the garbage can hoisted up so that you're able to kind of like set down a bit, step on the garbage can, hop off. Your bike's already there, and you are ready to go. Now the question is Bev going alone?
Wait, do we have like walkie-talkies?
Yeah, you have walkie-talkies.
Okay, great.
Y'all been friends for a little while, for sure. Part of the AV club definitely would have access to some walkie-talkies.
Billy!
What's up?
What are you doing right now?
I mean, I just went home to make sure everything was good. Over.
Psh, do you want to go check out that crash site? Over. Psh.
Oh, hell yeah. Over.
Okay, meet me in 20. Psh, over and out.
10-4.
So Gabe has a question. Is this a
Yes.
circumstance where only you two have walkies, or like both Lowen and Tommy also have walkies? And it's just like, what is that? What?
Right?
I'm fine with either, but I'm curious.
I think because like just given this the time span, right? And Gabe has already been hanging out with Gabe. Lowen has already been hanging out. I mean, we would, right? We would totally do this with both Bev and Billy. I would say, just for the sake of the unit as the team, if you didn't have one before the events of the night, both Tommy and Lowen do now.
Totally.
So you could both hear it if you wanted to, and act accordingly if you would like. Otherwise, we will continue moving on.
Anyone is welcome. Psh, now really over and out. Psh.
I think Thomas would have heard it. However, if he's home, he wouldn't be allowed to have such a contraption in the house. So he would hear it, but have it kind of like muffled away and kind of just like trying to find the right moment. So he wouldn't be able to respond. He might just like click it like, and then just be like, I don't think anyone knows Morse code. He does. And he just does it hoping that maybe, and then he realizes, fuck. And then he just kind of just goes on.
All right. So we will go ahead and fast forward. Anybody who wanted to heed Bev's call will be able to meet up at the location of this crash site, which happened about a week ago. Again, just this brilliant blast of light shot down from the sky and just crashed into the dense forest. It had been kind of the town, at least was being told, when weird things like this happen from the mouths of Rick Synergy to the public, is that there was some sort of just science experiments, and just too much energy was used. Unfortunately, the tanker that was containing, this experimental like fertilizer exploded in the area, so they were asking all residents to stay away. They wanted to make sure that people stayed in homes that day just to make sure it was okay. Okay, so it's been a week though, and although the area is still roped off, if you were to approach it now, it doesn't appear to be currently occupied by Rick Synergy agents or the military. So what y'all doing?
I feel like we had a meeting spot that we knew to meet at like a little bit before, and then we like biked or walked there as was necessary. And then so there's ropes, but there's no one guarding them, so it's like
It's like, are there even ropes there?
Are
at
there
all?
even ropes at that point? What the heck? Okay.
It's more of just trash, right? Like it was just the area that was kind of like, that police tape. It was just roped off. But with like, instead of police tape, right, it's actual like Rick Synergy tape. This happens a lot. So it's bright yellow. It's got, a bright blue Rick Synergy logo, dotted all across it. But like some of them have just been like totally ripped down or just pushed down by debris. There's nothing on fire anymore. Most of the area has actually been relatively cleaned up. You definitely can see the downed trees. You can see that there was fire damage. But that's what you see just from your position.
Is there like a hole or like some kind of crater in the ground?
There may have been. Do you want to move closer and investigate?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead and roll for me actual investigate.
Oh goody. Oh, goody, goody.
And that's mind,
gumdrops.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Ooh, one success. I was.
No success.
Okay, that's all
So
right.
it's
That's
a
all right.
it's a 6 for a success.
Yes, you just
Uh-huh.
need as many sixes as you can get.
Okay.
2.
Nice.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, good.
So collectively as a group then, with Lowen and Billy's roles, the two of you are able to each ask 2 questions. If you look at that cheat sheet, there are some suggestions there, but you're also free to ask whatever questions you would like. It's more of like an out of character thing to help you understand what it is that you're seeing.
I think I'm interested in what's hidden here and where is it.
Okay. So you are kind of, walking around and you're like, no, 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 no. You know that something fell from the sky, right? Like, everybody was talking about it. You may not have seen it, but everybody was talking about it. Why they weren't correlating that thing with the thing Rick Synergy was talking about, I mean, money talks. Money talks a lot louder, and that narrative was definitely shifted. As you're walking, though, like the earth is soft in comparison to the rest of the woodland area, right? It almost as if whatever crater had been there, and we kind of like as you're just walking into it, like your cool ass kicks are kind of like sinking, about an inch into this like soft peat, and the camera kind of zooms out for a moment, and you could see maybe not like from your vantage point, right, but from the cameras, the audience sees just this big circle of just fresh grass, so it's very obvious that it looks like whatever was here kind of had been paved over, but there's still like broken trees and whatnot, tons of like wood debris as well that are just kind of like scattered throughout the area. uh Lowen, Billy, got questions?
Not sure what to ask.
I'm the one that rolled no successes, so I thought I
You
couldn't.
can ask one of my questions though.
No. You could. Yeah.
And that was
I'm
the
looking out.
investigate.
Yes, that's
I've got, like-
that's from the investigate.
I stole a flashlight from the house, and I'm just like looking at everything.
Yes. Yes.
So if y'all point anything out, I'll point the flashlight at it. Like I'll just be like,
Perfect.
So I'll ask, what does it mean?
Ooh.
Okay. So is Lowen, you're kind of out there, right? Maybe you have your sketch pad in hand, right? Like just kind of like maybe mapping out like what's going on. What you do notice as far as like what does it mean? Obviously this was not just like some regular explosion. You clearly can tell that something impacted here. Rick Synergy covered it up, literally covered it up, but as you're kind of just like walking around and maybe listening to Bev kind of like point some things out, like, ooh, what's that? Or, ooh, what's that? And excuse me, Billy's like, shining the light wherever Bev points. You kind of notice, despite there having been, big machines here that kind of left some track marks, just the earth mover machines, right? You notice, like, off to the side, a little closer to the actual edge of, like, the forest, right? Almost a small trail where the taller untouched grass, because it's spring, so everything's kind of sprouting right now, is kind of pushed down, and you really can kind of only get a hint from that based on like the moonlight that's kind of shining down, and it just hits at that right angle, and it looks like a path.
There's a path that way.
Like was that path always there or is it a new path?
I think it's a new one.
Oh.
Things are like bent down and seems wrong. Well, not wrong, just different.
maybe we should follow that path.
I look
Yeah,
over
like-
Billy.
Yeah, why were they walking that way if there isn't something there? I mean, has to lead to something,
I
right? A path?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
All right. So you start, I think, with Billy maybe in the lead because you've got the
Yeah, I guess if I have the
you've
flashlight.
got the flashlight, right? You kind of came
Yeah,
equipped
but
with
Bev
that.
is like right
Yeah.
at their shoulder.
Yeah, I would say that Billy usually like lets Bev go first, but because they have the
Yeah. I can't
the
see anything
flashlight.
without you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you are all kind of following this trail, and it leads pretty deep into the woods. I would like you all to go ahead and roll me investigate. However, this is GM house rule. This is a perception check, so no questions are going to be asked here. But we are using investigate as if it were perception because there's no just perception roll here.
Ooh, 2 successes this time.
Okay.
No successes again. I'm gonna throw out all my dice. I literally
No!
have so many dice here, and I'm like, all going away.
Just all of them. Blah! No more dice.
New dice.
Oh gosh. Okay. So, I mean, Billy, again, you're taking point on this. You're really you're making sure that like you're kind of like you don't lose sight of the track. Okay. So that's you're just kind of honed in. But the others, you hear some sort of like whirring sound, mechanical in nature. And it seems to be coming off the path.
That's weird.
Mm.
What's weird?
It's like a whirring noise.
Like wheels, like another robot whirring, or like
Does it does it sound big?
As it like Billy, you're now able to hear it now that it's kind of been pointed out, and it's cutting through the sounds of the crickets chirping at night. It's probably fucking cicada season, so they've got fucking everywhere. It's that time of year, and you can all hear it, and it sounds like it's getting closer. So it sounds like it's getting louder, and you are now starting to hear branches and twigs snap.
I want to climb a tree.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like
everyone's
maybe-
instinct. God,
Okay, great.
yeah, like get behind a trunk.
There are plenty of trees.
Turn off the flashlight.
If you're trying to hide, go ahead and roll sneak. If you are trying to climb, go ahead and roll force.
Ooh, I'm gonna sneak.
I will climb.
Okay. Oh, Jess.
1, 2, 3. 3 successes. Body. Body.
Gabe, what did you
Strong.
get there?
That's
Ooh,
I
okay.
think my butt's sticking out of the bush.
Okay. Okay. That's, you're trying, right? You're giving it your best. Bev, why don't you go ahead and illustrate? Paint this picture with your words. How
All right.
badass Bev looks right now.
Yeah. God, this is ridiculous. She finds like a low hanging branch, like grabs onto it with her arms and like starts swinging, so she can like get to the next one that'll support her. So she like swings up and like grabs it like with her knees, like so she's hanging for a second upside down, and then like crunches and like pulls herself up, so she's
Mhm.
decently high.
Okay.
And she's like now she's standing on it, like trying to blend in with the trunk.
So good. And she just looks so cool doing this too, right?
I do.
And really, I mean, Bev's already showed how just badass she is, right? She snuck out of her own house. She snuck into the house. She also was the one that opened the window and kind of guided everybody out of the school when y'all were trying to sneak out. So this is just right up the troublemaker's alley, and just Bev nails this. As everybody else is like trying to like find cover and hide, again you hear these noises, and it just like it's almost louder now, very mechanical in nature. And cutting across the path, it's not so big where it's just like knocking trees down, excuse me, but it is definitely like, as this machine is moving through, it doesn't care about the trees, right? Its metal frame is just scraping up against them. You can hear just like cracking of some of the trunks themselves as this now comes into frame, as the moon is shining down just enough light in between the canopy of the trees onto this bright yellow body machine. It is probably about 8 feet tall. It's got 2 big legs. Honestly, it almost looks like a big ass dinosaur. Okay, so it's just got this huge metal yellow framed body. There's a couple blinking lights on it. Across its shiny, yellow chest, there is a big lit up, RGBs, right? Symbol of Synergy, and it is just. And you just hear that mechanical whir as it starts walking through the forest, cutting into the path that you were all following. And because of both Billy and, I keep wanting to say Gabe because I look at the screen and Gabe is the thing that pops up, Lowen, both were not as successful as Bev had been. It pauses for a moment in the middle of the path, and you kind of see again these lights, like indicator lights that are just kind of like in very key locations, and it pauses for a moment, and this little like metal frame right in the front of where like its snoot would be, just like opens up, and there are just all of these little mechanical parts. There's almost like a big camera lens, right? And you can see this a beam of light shoot down from it, and it's like a scanner. And it's just this blue wire framed light that is scanning the area, and it is getting closer and closer and closer to the hiding locations of Lowen and Billy.
If we clearly saw like Bev did this like bonkers run up the tree basically, but I know me and Lowen did not make it. Can I grab Lowen and run? Can I just like yoink and like? He's wearing a leather jacket now, right? Are you wearing that fancy like glam rock leather jacket? I grab you by the leather jacket and I like try to hightail it with you.
That's okay. As you're doing that, I'm drawing while looking backwards.
Oh my gosh. All right, so because the two of you are now very clearly seen, you hear, actually I'm just going to have you roll before I narrate what is going on. Go ahead, the two of you, please roll move. Okay. So that is body.
Yeah.
Plus
body.
Move.
Okay. Come on, dice. Come on, dice. 1, 6, please. Nope. Can I go the whole game?
You got 2 successes. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Which is funny because I have a 2 body and 0 move, so that was lucky.
I mean, speaking of luck, that is a mechanic that you all have access to. If that's a thing, you can re-roll if you wanted.
We only have 2 luck for the whole season, though, right?
Correct.
Yep, I'll hold on
it's
to it.
It's a short stint.
Yeah.
Although I forgot who. Hey, you're good. Hi, what's up? You can come in. I see you. That's my puppy. Sorry, and my wife.
Hi, Audrey.
They say hi. You, as you were trying to run, right? You hear the sound of shit. You've been caught. It's just this like siren that just goes, and the face just shuts down. The indicator lights, like almost like spikes, right? Just turn red, and this bright beam of light just hones in on the two of you as you are running. You hear the sounds whirring again of its inside engine, and just and it's just gonna start charging for the both of you. Lowen, even though you're kind of like doing one of these, right? You're like, oh, okay, no, yep, got it, nailed it, a total perfect, masterpiece of this. Oh, thank you. So perfect. Oh my gosh, I love it.
There's also my hiding failure.
Here for it. Here for it.
Question.
Yes.
So is it still, even as it's pursuing, it still looks like it's like scanning them with this thing?
No, not any longer. It you could probably get like with the light now shining in their direction as they are just running. It knows that they're there. It is now following them.
Okay, but it does still have the light on, right?
It doesn't have the tracking light on. That was closed up. It just has a big like a strobe light, right?
Okay.
So it's just this bright white light in the middle of a dark forest.
Oh God. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Hit me with some bullshit.
If I wanted to jump onto it,
that would be another move.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's a move. That's a
jump
move.
onto
Because you're jumping. I mean, you're in the right position. You are hanging in that tree. It has not seen you.
Yeah. 4, 5, 6. Okay.
Oh yeah, Gabe. You have a luck point that you have to use tonight. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Just reminding you.
Oh, thank God. It's just 1. I rolled 6 dice and it's just 1. This is my favorite die. I will keep this one forever.
So go ahead and narrate how you make this really cool move, okay?
Okay.
It's not the prettiest, right? It's certainly not the 3 successes that you had and you just look badass doing it. But go ahead and narrate what it is that Bev is doing right now.
Okay. So her not knowing much about mechanics or anything like that, her intention is to like blind it. So she pulls out her bandana that she's got, right? And she just like kneels, like plies and jumps, and it's like very much like she just like grabs on for dear life. It definitely doesn't look cool at all, but she's got purchase.
I love it. All right, so
Under Pressure is playing right now.
Yes. Bev is like bull riding this thing.
Yeah.
So you're trying to like, I mean, you're holding on to it, right? You kind of got that bandana around and trying to blind it, right? Billy and Lowen, you're booking it, right? Billy, you went to take a look back, right? And to shine the light to see like what's going on, and just boom, your foot gets snagged. This is based off of your roll, and you just boom, 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 boom. You topple over, flashlight scatters from your hand. You are muted. Or you chose to be muted.
I was just shouting, not my flashlight. That's all.
Not
it
my
wasn't important.
flashlight.
It had the good batteries in it. You know.
It takes like 6 like D batteries, which are
it
expensive
takes, like, those
as
huge
fuck.
ass ones.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So you go toppling over. Lowen, you see this. Bev, you are a little distracted right now. Because you're trying to hold on onto this machine that is just like, and now trying to like move, just like you're blocking its sensors, and it's having a hard time like trying to function.
How
However,
big is this thing?
it's
Like
about 8 feet tall. It's a big boy.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
Do
very
it. Do it.
strong. Bev's the strong one. I'm like,
You hear Lowen's mom's words echo in the back of your head. You can be your own power. Do whatever your heart wants you to do.
But Lowen's like saying that over top of
Right?
me.
It's really just Lowen.
Your own power.
Oh, here. Do you want this?
oh gosh.
Check your bank. Not you. Sorry. I was not muted there. Sorry.
I love it.
Little Animal Crossing. Just, it's fine.
Can I just like? Oh gosh. I guess I have to like try and get up, but then can I like? Since I'm on the ground, actually, can I scramble, like find a rock and like huck it at this thing?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. Absolutely.
Maybe it'll be more disoriented if we like all doing different stuff. Okay.
Yep. So
Would
go
that
ahead.
be move.
Nope. This will be a force because you're doing.
Oh, good. That's even worse.
Like a physical type thing. Movement is more. Are you moving away? Are you jumping? Are you riding?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is real bad. I'm gonna get nothing. Nothing.
Nothing. No. Great. I mean, go
dice.
ahead. And, like you. How does Billy throw? Like go explain what it is that she's doing.
Billy. Well, because I mean, Billy was on the ground, so they're like feeling around. They find something, and they like literally from the ground just like huck it, and I think it just whiffs past the thing. like,
Bev,
God.
you just hear like that sound of like. of a rock just almost knocking you upside the head, right? And
Don't
it just
hit
dink.
me.
I'm not trying to. I'm sorry.
Question.
Yes.
Do we recognize this thing? Is this like a thing we should know what it is?
So that's a great question. There are a lot of mechanical machines. I don't know what else I can explain them. Vehicles, robots. That it's commonplace enough, but it's more like a background sort of thing. Like again, you've got these big, massive, like, shipping containments that are known as magnetrines, and they float in the sky, and that's relatively normal to see. There are like fire prevention units known as Parhoofers, which I love using them in games, and I'm sad that I'm not using one right now. And they just wander forests, detecting fires and extinguishing the fires to help reduce, the manpower needed to do so, and obviously to prevent massive forest fires. So there are some commonplace machines. This one, though, very clearly is labeled Rick Synergy, and it's not like one that you've typically seen before. It is in pristine condition, where most of the robotics and electronics that you have just encountered over the span of your life has been, again, kind of clunkier, kind of worn out, not nearly as taken care of, because if you have a machine of some sort, it's expensive to maintain. It's very much labeled Rick Synergy. This is a piece of equipment that belongs to them.
Okay.
Oh, I have a thought then. If Lowen or Bev have something, they should go first though. Because
I was just gonna ask if I see an off button.
You can roll investigate.
Yeah.
Bev's just going, where's Thomas when you need him?
That is literally what I was gonna do. I was gonna radio Thomas.
Do
I
it.
was like, oh, Thomas will know this. What the hell this thing is?
2 out
Two.
of 5.
Excellent.
Good.
That's pretty darn good. So it's a bit disoriented right now because again, Bev is just dangling on it like a cow, just like it's a rodeo, right? And you can see that there is like some type of like access panel off on the shoulder. There it looks like there might be like a button code to get into it, but it kind of sticks out a bit from like just the sheen that is the robot itself.
Bev, punch that thing on its shoulder.
Okay. I'm gonna punch it.
I don't want this to be the case, but the first thought I had was Bev punching it, it explodes, and then hearing the R2D2 scream as Bev like goes flying.
I will totally punch it. But Billy could definitely also radio Thomas.
Yeah, Billy is radioing Thomas at this as soon as they fail at hucking their stone. He's like, roll out of the way, and then like radio Thomas. So they like probably like roll away because there's like a log or something. They roll, and then just like facing up on, still laying on the ground. There's radio Thomas. It's like, Thomas, come in, Thomas.
So as you're saying that, right, the like you hear, like Lowen's got a radio, Bev has a radio. Obviously, it's not going to come out from yours. So you hear the sound of 1, 2, 3 radios nearby, emitting the noise that your quest or your request for Thomas, who, as the camera shifts from this chaotic scene, you see a pair of sneakers come up and shine against the light of the flashlight that you have dropped, Billy. And the camera pans up, or tilts up, I'm sorry. And you see Thomas, who is standing there, maybe a little bit out of breath, but wearing this large oversized backpack, right? It's just got these huge straps, almost like a parachute sort of strapping mechanism, right? So it crisscrosses, against the chest. There's all these little buttons and just corded wires, and on each of his hands are just these massive gauntlets made of, metal plates. It's not painted quite like the giant robot ahead of you that you're all facing right now. But if it had a fresh coat on it, it looked like it would match. So, Tommy, welcome to the show.
What's
What
up?
are you doing?
Well, Thomas is not the most athletic, so he will definitely be out of breath, drinking, like, he has like a very, very overly pompous water bottle that he's just chugging down water with, and he just disregards it and throws it down and picks up the flashlight and just do I see them with everything going on? Like,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You see the scene.
yeah, so if
the
he sees it,
chaos
Thomas would just be
unfolding.
like, what is happening? Okay. And he has one of those like everything slows down kind of moments where he like, this is like his forte kind of, and he kind of just, the backpack that he's wearing is way too heavy for him, and he kind of has a bit of support. Like, he jerry-rigged a wheel attached to a bar on the backpack, so it's kind of like a wagon on his backpack, and he's kind of just like going to turn the machine on, or the backpack on, and try to connect with the proper frequency that allows him to build a bridge with the backpack to that specific model. And he obviously recognizes with a little bit of disgust that, like, his dad kind of helped build these things. So he's kind of upset about the fact that his dad's toys are going to potentially harm his friends. So he kind of goes ahead and flips it on and tries to, he's not familiar with it, so he's going to try to do what he knows to connect with this, like build a link with the machine.
Perfect. So I will go ahead. You need to roll. How about program or tinker? Whichever one's better for you.
They're the same. So I'll take
The same.
either or.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Come on. This is all you were meant to do. Don't screw me up. I got 1.
Okay. And 1 is all you need for this challenge bar.
Oh, what in the flapjacks? Okay.
Y'all made this happen, friends. So you're standing there, right? You understand some of your father's stuff, like you've grown up with this, and you kind of like pop open a switch, and it's almost using like, I don't know if you remember, like infrared technology. Remember how you can connect your Tamagotchis to each other, or like your Digimon stuff? Like, it's just that old school tech. And so like you're trying to pick up its signal, and it's definitely got one that's always constantly like emitting from itself. And eventually it does kind of like the indicator light on yours flashes green. And for a moment, you might not be certainly sure what to do with that, as you flip the panel of the gauntlet down, and they kind of like power up. And as this yellow light surges through the gauntlets each, remember those red lights that were on this dinosaur-looking machine? They now turn yellow, indicating that you have bridged successfully. You now
How
have
much
control.
do I have full control, or is it more like there's a bit of resistance and I can kind of make it suggestive movements?
There is no resistance. This is not an artificial intelligence.
Okay, cool.
This is
So
just
I will.
a program.
It's very weird for Thomas to be wearing these kind of equipment. He mostly works with other robots, so he's kind of like learning how to do it. And he's going to move and try to see if it mimics his movement by moving his right hand.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. Is Bev on the thing? On which side are you?
Yes, I'm on its back.
On his back. Okay.
Mhm.
So then I will first stop his movement, and then kind of just like move slowly the right arm and be like, "Is this thing working?" I like. Am I far from them? Can I shout to them or?
I mean, yeah, you're close by.
Okay.
I think now, because you have these, lit up gauntlets, like they can see you in the darkness, and
I don't want to shout, so I'm gonna put my my radio on the floor and use my foot to turn on the talk button, and just kind of be like, "Did it work? It, I don't. Did it stop moving? Am I moving my right arm
so it doesn't have arms,
or whatever whatever the correct attachments with my arms would be for?"
So your arms, you hold up, like, right, that right arm gauntlet, and it like jerks straight up. So Bev, actually, you know what, Bev, why don't you go ahead and roll me force? I want to see if you can hold on to this.
I'm sorry, Bev.
Right. 2 and 2 successes.
Great. You hold on like a champion. Like, you're just, is it like, whoop, 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 and like you almost like slip, but you're able to kind of scramble back up. And yeah, so this machine has halted. You could hear it, the engine still, churning, but it is not making a movement.
Okay, so if I hold my right arm, it halted. Okay, and I'll use I press the button again with my foot. What is it doing? Is it good? Are you good?
I mean, it's not moving.
Thomas, being the curious type, is going to slowly lower his right hand.
You lower your hand, right? Doesn't do anything. It still stays in the still position.
Can I lift my left hand?
You can. It's your hand.
Okay, he lifts his left hand.
As you do, the red lights power back on, and it haunches forward. Now once again in tracking mode. That front screen like opens up, and you could start hearing it start its its noises of like.
Nope. Put it back down. Put my right hand back up. He's like, oh, nope.
Yeah. You do like
I just
one of these.
I'm just doing this. Like He's like, I don't like this tool.
What's everybody else doing?
Thomas,
drumming.
stop moving.
Thomas is air drumming, so I do too.
I will like just like hold like in this like this position, hoping that it will stop moving.
It does.
I'm gonna get down.
You're gonna get down.
I'm gonna get down.
You've been nailing your body rolls, so
Yeah. That's all I'm good at.
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
get down.
You get down, no problem. Thomas, you are stopped in this kind of awkward position, right? Almost like a cactar. And thanks for laughing at that, friends. And the creature is like, it stops, but it's still activated. Like it's not moving, but those red indicator lights are still active.
With my knowledge, would I know any way of what kind of like movement or action I would need to do to shut it down or put it into a passive mode?
Yes, go ahead and roll comprehend.
Oh, you, damn it. Okay, that is 4. Okay.
You need to have the right piece of information to be able to find, to activate, and to use.
Yeah, I got zips.
You got a zips? Okay.
I got zips.
Okay. You're not. You're kind of frozen in this moment because you're like, if you move, you might activate it again, and if you don't move, it might activate itself. So you're kind of, playing a game of like, red light, green light. But Lowen, you did see the panel.
And I walk up and then try to climb up and then like full hand smack it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a body. Force.
Right.
Force. No, sorry, kidding. Move. You're climbing. Sorry. They're two different ones.
I'm gonna use my 1 luck reroll for the session. Because that was a fail.
Please do. Go ahead.
That is 1 success.
Excellent. So you are able to reach up there and where Bev had been before, and you now see this access panel, and there are 3 buttons on it, indicating that you probably need a passcode of some sort to open up the panel.
Oh, okay. Thomas, I see 3 buttons.
What color are they?
What color are the buttons?
Blue?
All 3 are blue.
All 3 are blue.
Blue, and blue.
What's the third one?
Blue.
Does that ring a bell to Thomas? Is there any color system that the company would use to indicate certain functionalities?
No, you would know that you need to just tap each button a specific amount of times so that it changes the color to meet a certain color combination.
Hold on. I think I'm checking something. Funky Town came out in 1986, so I would have heard it. I pressed the buttons to the tune of Funky Town.
Lowen, what are you? Don't just press the. Lowen, you have to. No, Lowen, stop.
I need you, please roll a program. That's tech.
I'm good at that one. Actually. And my mind is a... Oh, no, my tech is a 4.
Not bad.
1, 2, 3. 3 out of 5. 3 successes.
All right. Tommy, you're not very happy right now as you just hear the sounds of beep, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, beep, beep.
Yeah,
And
he would just be yelling, just like, Lowen, stop it! I can't move, but you
Like one hand up.
Lowen!
Tommy, let him rock out, okay? Just let him rock.
Thomas is like baffled and he's like about to move, but then in his mind it like triggers like I can't move, and he's like,
It's a very Into the Spider-Verse moment where he's like, talk about it,
Thomas is just baffled at this point. He doesn't know how to react, so he just has his jaw open and just like looking at the robot's sensors and just waiting to see what to do when this eventually will turn on and just destroy us all.
And it does exactly the opposite of what Tommy feared. The lights just and the whole machine just kind of like powers down and
Billy
stops.
pats Thomas's shoulder and it's like, see, just gotta trust the music, and then walks over to Lowen like this.
I'm just like rethinking my entire life at this moment. Thomas has this face of just, why do I even bother?
I didn't use chords this time. Well, I did, but it was music chords.
Hey.
I'm gonna start taking the equipment off. Very, very, very sadly.
Yeah. What are you all doing? You have this.
I'm gonna walk up to them, very defeated, even though I hope I helped. And he's gonna like give the flashlight to Billy.
Hey, thanks. You showed up at just the right. I was literally
Late.
calling
You showed up so late.
I'm sorry, okay? My dad doesn't allow me to use the radio at home.
You gotta sneak the radio up to your room.
It doesn't really help when you're walking up the stairs and then you guys start talking.
You
I
live
can't
in,
hide sound, okay, Bev?
you have a bunch of
You
technology.
can.
They don't let you
There
use
is-
a radio.
Soundproof.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, isn't there like Thomas? Aren't you good with tech? There's a volume switch.
Well, I didn't think
That's
you guys
different
were just-
from the gain.
Listen, just shut up, okay? We're here. I'm here. I made it, okay? Gosh, what is this? You guys are gone for like what, a few days, and you have this thing chasing you? What did you do?
We were just walking, man.
It came after us. I can't believe you're like in here all aggressive and up in our grill when we're just like trying to look around and this thing attacks us.
I'm gonna walk up to Tommy and put my hand on his shoulder. Tommy, you are beautiful and appreciated. And I'm glad you're here because we're friends.
Tommy does one of those like your arm stands still, and he dips his entire body. to,
I try to follow it.
and he's just gonna like get off. And he just like pushes, not like aggressively, but just like to keep push distance, like get off me. And he's
Is
just
that a
like
game? I slap your hand back.
GM. Would Thomas know that these anything about these machineries, like the models of them, do they activate based on a specific operation? Person turns them on? Are they like a patrol thing that if some kids did stuff that they're not supposed to, turns on?
Yeah, bingo bongo on that one, dear friend. You were even only here because you heard your friends call on the radio, wanting to go check out the crash site. You have been listening at the dinner table, right?
Yeah.
Where you're doing your homework, and your father is on the phone with some mystery man. He has that tone where it's just like very clearly work related, and he kept saying, yes, we have one. It should be patrolling the area now. And as you've been listening to the conversation, you had realized that this was just one of your father's machines, built, forged tough, and purchased or rented, you would say, to kind of just patrol the crash site area, almost indicating that the investigation wasn't quite over.
So there's a custom order.
It's
kinda
custom
deal.
order. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Listen. This machinery was one of I overheard my dad talking about it. And usually when he's involved, it's pretty important. And it sounded like the guy was kind of a dick. So that means usually it's even more important. I don't know why, but my dad seems to associate with a lot of really mean people. So this thing didn't just chase you. You stepped into something important that it did not want you to know. So what did you three, and I like point like individually, do?
Wow, way to blame us. We were walking
Where?
on
Near the
a
crash site.
on a path.
Yes, that's true.
I hear the. Do I hear Billy say a crash site?
I mean, do you want it to be a challenge roll?
I'm down for whatever.
It would just be a perception roll, so investigate if you wanted to actually hear.
I got 1-6.
Okay, yeah, you hear Billy.
I'm sorry. Where did you go, Billy?
Billy looks back at Bev and like, we were walking on a path that we found.
2.
We don't know. We didn't get very far.
That's the thing. We were just looking around. We don't know what's up until we look. But we couldn't look, so we still don't know what's up.
Billy kind of gives a squinty eye at. Thomas gives a squinty eye to like Billy and Bev, and then I look over to Lowen. Lowen,
Yeah.
what were you three looking for?
I should have asked that. I just thought we came to see something that maybe came from the sky or hell or robot hell. I don't know, something.
Could have been anything.
That's the thing. We don't know yet.
Thomas gives up. He sighs.
To be
Well-
honest, Thomas, you probably know more about what we don't know than we do.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know
So,
anything about what we
Tommy.
don't know.
Exactly.
The solution here is we should all go together now that Robot has been put to bed and go look at what we don't know yet.
So
First
you
I'm
want to go
warning.
further into where the thing was chasing you out of?
Can you reprogram it so we can ride it?
No, Lowen, I cannot. And if I
Is-
could, I wouldn't.
Why?
Because we're not supposed to be here.
Yeah, but we do a lot of things we're not supposed to. Just because people say we're not supposed to do it doesn't mean we can't. It just means that they don't like it. Or sometimes they're bad and shifty.
What Lowen said.
I put my face in the mechanical glove
But
just
Tom-
out of disappointment.
Thomas, you said alone that your dad hangs out with a lot of bad people. So maybe you should hang out with good people, which I hope is us. And if it is us, then aren't you going to be the one that helps us stay good people if we end up in bad situations, unlike your dad?
I'm getting a headache. Okay,
You need to drink more water.
what do we
Yeah.
need to do for us to go home? What is the objective here?
Walk down that path.
Pretty simple.
Fine. I'm gonna just I'm not gonna carry the equipment because I assume it's pretty heavy. Can I just are the gloves usable without the backpack, or do I need the whole set?
I mean, you need the whole set. Like they are. There's just like these braided cords of wires that extend from the gloves, that are kind of like shoved against your back, connecting into the power pack itself.
All right, I'll pack it up and bring it. I'm not gonna leave that.
Mm-mm.
All right, lead the way, Bev.
Okay, I will. And I do.
All right, so we are following the kids as they are walking down this small trail, and eventually the scenery starts looking a little familiar to all of you as you see your hideout off in the distance. The woods will clear just a little bit ways away. You know, the familiar sounds of the area, the train tracks that are nearby. You can kind of see them up on the hill. It looks like this path may have just been the path of Jib leading back to your hideout.
Were we always this close to the ox? He asks in character.
Well, we were coming at it from a weird angle, so I didn't recognize it, but I guess.
That's really weird.
Mhm.
I'm gonna check on Jib.
Yeah, we should all go do that.
All right.
Yeah,
Cautiously.
almost like we're a group and we're stronger together, Thomas.
He rolls his eyes and just kind of just walks forward.
Are you two related?
No.
No,
You argue like siblings.
I think we have clear ideas that we disagree upon.
That
Yeah.
like siblings. I said what I said.
Like a
But when
like a debate club, more like.
not all siblings aren't the only ones that disagree.
Are you married?
No,
Ew!
look, I'm.
Are you
Ew!
coworkers?
Go and check on Gib. And he just like flustered and just kind of like walks.
I lean over to Billy. I don't think married people are supposed to argue either, but I heard some weird person at a cafe say it, and I didn't think it'd be true. But Thomas says weird things, so it made sense.
Yeah, it's definitely an unhealthy cliche about relationships that is definitely perpetrated throughout society, that it is not ideal, but I guess,
I'm sorry, you're
a trope is a
13.
trope.
You're
Wow.
13. Excuse me.
I read a lot and I listen to a lot of music, okay?
This is
I'm a
Oxford.
rocker.
I
I
love
like
it.
obscure Russian literature, all right?
That makes
Mhm.
sense. My mom and dad have always got along really well, and they both have individual hobbies, but I think that has made them both thrive in moments, and then it has given me the sense of happiness and love that I truly needed. It allowed me to be me.
Exactly.
I pop my head out. Can you hurry up?
Bev's whole face is red, but it's dark, so you can't see it.
Great. Just for the sake of time, y'all make it just fine. You you know this area. This is your place. This is your kingdom. And you go ahead to the Ox. You see your three boxcars looking pretty all right. Kind of just how you left it, because it's been, how long has it been? How long has it been?
Just
since-
Like,
Hours?
Well, no.
I think after the blackout, or
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like the next day.
Was it like
Yeah,
the next
I
day we're going with?
or-
Okay.
I think it was like two, maybe just so things could settle
Mhm.
down.
Okay. Perfect.
I'm gonna put my equipment down and start looking for Gib aggressively, as if like I'm trying to distract myself from the previous conversation we had.
Aggressively searching for our robot friend.
I'm looking at like the dumbest places just because like I'm assuming there's not too many hiding places, but I don't want to stop searching in case they want to talk to me again. So I'm just gonna just run around just like Gib.
And you thanks Leo Rose D&D. Yes, everybody please hydrate. You don't have to look far. If you recall, the last which cart had you all been in? Was it the one with the broken TV, or was it the one with the sunroof?
That's where we had Jib, is in the one with the broken TV.
With the
thought.
broken
yeah,
TV?
I think
Okay,
so.
cool. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, you see Jib just sitting like in front of the TV, which obviously doesn't work, right? It's the glass is totally gone, the tube inside's totally gone. It is just a shell with an antenna of a TV. But the radio is on, and his he's not very well illuminated. There's no lights on in here, but the radio is functioning. So that means power has been given back to the Ox, and Jib is just sitting, staring at the empty hole of the TV with the radio going.
Hey, bud. You doing okay?
Hello, friends. Welcome home.
Jib, we have kind of a weird question. Did you fall from the sky?
Jib's like, again, still sitting in that position, staring at the television screen, but the the light beam, that orb that kind of represents his facial features, shifts around the back of his head so he can now face you.
No, Thomas shimmers a little, like shimmies, is like out of fear, like ugh.
Um,
Technically, yes. The sky.
and he will like point, not with his body, but again with that that little orb of his face, as he had mimicked Lowen before, just kind of points up.
Oh my god, he's an alien.
Well, he's a robot. So
Jib, are you from this planet?
No. Off-world.
oh shit, Thomas was right.
My
Mm.
God, I totally thought you were just. I shoved Thomas in like the little kid fashion. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe you were right.
Wait, I shove him back at Billy.
Yeah.
Owen gets a real serious look on his face. Walks over to his notebook and walks up to Jib.
Have you seen anything like this before?
What is it supposed to be?
That's my horse thing that was
Remember
originally
the first episode?
Oh my god, yes.
Started as Samantha Johnson.
Yeah.
Right?
It
That was
developed
Samantha
into a-
Secretariat.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's secretary.
The horse secretary. As you do.
Yeah, as one does. Jib's facial orb pixelates into the form that you have drawn. So it now is like on its facial screen.
No. We do not have those. What is it?
Whew. Sarah Johnson.
Is Sarah Johnson friend?
No, she sucks.
No.
Yeah. Those are bad. If you ever see one of those, Jib, get out of there, okay?
Yeah. And,
For your own
and
safety.
you can call him a biatch.
No,
No!
no, Bev,
Let's
no.
not go
That's what you call them, Jim. But you call
No,
them
Jim,
biatches.
Disable
Understood.
audio
Trying to cover
function.
Jib's. He doesn't have ears. Trying
Not
to cover
friend.
Jib's globe in like a.
Correct.
remote-
Jib.
Say it, Jim.
Correct.
I need to know that you can say it.
Everyone all at once was
don't-
like, well.
No.
It's like, Bev, do not try to turn this one. Leave him alone.
Bev is
don't
such the
to say it, but I'm with
troublemaker.
Thomas.
Don't do it, Jib. Don't do it. Don't say those words. Those are bad words.
I just look very innocent.
How are words bad?
Because they
Mm.
make people feel bad when they hear them.
Yeah, some are intended to be mean.
It's what you have intent with the words, Jib.
You know what? Jib is from outside space. Why are we talking about bees?
Yes, true, correct. I'm freaking out. And then Thomas turns to like Billy Lowen, and Bevan just does one of the like, I'm freaking out.
I thought he was just
I
a
snort.
regular. Go ahead.
I snort. That's it.
I don't know how to gauge Bev anymore.
I make trouble. I'm a maker of trouble. I trouble make.
I'm very good at it. Yeah, I mean, it was one thing when he was like a super high-tech Earth robot, but he's a super high-tech space robot now.
He's an alien. That's what he is.
Jib can.
Go ahead.
Damn it. Do we have a VCR, right? We can assume we have a VCR.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we
Yeah.
were from the AV club, so
Yeah,
Mhm.
we have a bunch of AV Club tech.
Okay. There is one movie that I
Oh,
think
working TV.
well, I don't know if we need a working TV if we have a VCR, but I'm gonna see
Ooh.
if Jib can connect themselves to that. I'm not gonna do
Hmm.
with it. I'm gonna go get a copy of ET and ask Jib if this is like them.
Jib, do you need to go home?
my god. Listen. Clearly, whatever that my dad and whoever he's talking to is trying to facilitate involves Jib. So that means we're not the only ones that know about Jib.
If we all saw from ET, all the grown-ups only want bad things for aliens.
Right, so we have to hide Jib.
We
This
have
isn't
to
a movie.
save Jib.
No, no save. Jib. Save Gorn. Deliver message.
Say
Oh, that's
who?
right.
Write the message.
R2D2.
R2D2 message. Thorn.
Wait, who are we saving? The horn?
Gorn.
Thorn?
Oh, this is the third time I've misheard this.
Can you play the message for us?
Gorn with the G.
Oh, with the G. Okay,
Gorn.
thank you.
Ha!
I thought you all were just doing a shtick, and I rolled with it the last time,
Not
and
a
now you
bit.
started it again.
Not a bit.
I hear it.
Gorn.
Gorn.
G-
Thorn.
No, what
Bjorn.
Lowen said. Can you play us the message?
No, it's encrypted.
Can
That's right.
you uncrypt it for us?
I think you mean unencrypt. Oh.
No.
Jib's core processors cannot.
Do you need more? And then I look at I look at Thomas, and then I start chuckling a lot.
What are you doing?
So, Jib, if we get you more processing power, could you do it?
Oh, dang.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
I imagine like that scene going, oh no, oh dang, oh yeah. And then the Kool-Aid man just
Hey, Kool-Aid man, get out of our hideout.
We didn't
No
order
adults.
you.
Oh.
You're like a billion years old. Get out.
Lowen, what are you suggesting?
We get Jib more pieces and new power
But why did you laugh at me?
because you might be able to help Jib put it together since your dad made him.
Oh, we don't know if my dad made him. What?
Not
What do you mean?
him, the other ones.
Oh,
The one in the woods.
Tom is kind of recluse. What's the word? He like curls.
Recuses?
I don't know. It's like the word where he like curls inwards like a turtle.
Tracks?
Retracts. Yeah. He kind of sinks in. That's
It's a
the
great.
word.
That works too. I love it.
He sinks in like. I mean, I'm not really supposed to touch my dad's stuff.
Yeah, but okay. Well, it's not necessarily your dad's stuff. Your dad just made the general idea. It's owned by the stupid people. The bad people.
The Sarah Johnson?
It's basically a bunch of Sarah Johnsons.
Oh gosh.
Bunch of biatches.
Jib.
Biatches.
No.
Dangerous.
No. Jib. No. Jib. No.
Yes!
No. Now when we return Jib to space, all they're gonna know us for is that everyone on Earth is foul-mouthed.
Just the cool people.
Huh.
Jib, would that help if we got you more parts? I guess. Can you play us the message?
Message is not for Jib's unit. Message is for Gorn.
How do we find Gorn?
Jib found Gorn.
What?
Where's Gorn?
And Jib's both the orb shifts and points, and finally now also Jib's arm extends towards the radio that is currently playing right now, and his voice again, that orb that's usually the face flatlines and becomes the audio bar, and instead you will hear him mimicking actually, before I even hit that button and say what it is, we didn't name this location. I would love for you all to figure out the name of the music store.
Oh.
what's your local record store? The place
Feel
that
like that is,
everybody knows, and it's definitely not a Sam Goody or anything like that. 'Cause it's copyright. Can't use that.
I feel like this
I think
is
it might be
Billy's
Ocean
forte.
Waves because
Whoa.
the owner's name is Lionel Ocean and it's Music Waves. So
Totally.
I think it's Ocean Waves.
I
See?
love it.
Look
Absolutely
at that.
love
Easy.
it.
Easy clap.
Perfect. Yep.
Billy's the
Yep.
boss.
Nailed it. All right. So you hear Jib kind of mimicking come on down to Ocean Waves. Lionel's got the right mix for you.
Is that Gorn?
Scorn Lionel?
No. Gorn should be there. I hear. In the sound signals.
Okay. I think I'm getting this. So
Wait, your space alien friend is at our record store?
I look at Billy as if I was about to say that.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry.
she's like stalled up. No, I mean, Paul doesn't care. Thomas cares. But he's just like, I was, and he just looks at Jib.
You can say it too.
No.
I mean, sometimes a point is made finer by repeating it.
Biatch.
Biatch.
No. Look,
No, look what you've done!
Lowen, you are not an impressionable robot here.
Yeah, I'm an impressionable kid. Biatch.
Well, I guess this is just our lives now.
This is it. Okay. Listen, is Gorn at Ocean Waves?
Yeah, Billy just figured that out.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
Well, I don't know because Jib said in the sound, which means like radio waves, so frequencies.
Yes.
Is Gorn a person or a thing?
Gorn is.
And the orb kind of like shifts between all of you as it's trying to like figure out how to process this. And the it's almost like Jib can't process what Gorn is. And the little lights, instead of like forming a shape like it had done about Sarah Johnson, just, the indicator lights, it almost kind of like scatters, right? So there's just little lights just blinking everywhere on Jib.
Jib, are you the first one like you to come here?
Here, Earth.
Yes.
Yes. But not first, like Gorn.
So Gorn was already here?
Yes. I was sent to deliver message.
Oh no. What if Gorn is like the radio tower or something and Jib has to go to the radio tower to send out a signal? Because delivering a message doesn't necessarily mean giving it to someone. It could be broadcasting.
Maybe there's more of Gib all around the world and he just needs to send a message to them.
Well, he said he's the first one here. So it might be sending a message back somewhere.
Jib, what are your intentions here on Earth?
Jib's primary function is to deliver message to Gorn.
What are Gorn's intentions here on Earth?
That's a good question.
I know.
Jib does not know.
Damn it.
Jib's primary function is to deliver message to Gorn.
Who gave you this primary function?
Like you see again the line kind of flatline on his face as he's like trying to think or at least process what what it is you're asking of him. And he kind of like, the orb kind of like returns once more.
Factory. You have factories here. Chip
Me.
was constructed in factory, built on assembly line, only used to deliver message.
If you would like, Billy, go ahead and roll me a comprehend.
Okay. That is, I have no points in comprehend. So
That's a lot of dice I hear rolling, though.
yeah, I'm okay at mind. 2 successes! Finally! Sorry.
Keep those dice.
These ones stay. These
Those
ones
stay. You get to live today. So the information that I'm about to give you, you will now, anytime that you are recalling this information throughout the game, you will get an additional die to it. So from what Jib is trying to explain, and again, it's just in clips and phrases of words that he's learned from the radio, that he's just been listening to. So like, there's probably like a factory warehouse, they were talking about, where is how he kind of understood assembly line, understood because of like some auto commercial. But you kind of are piecing this together, that it seems like Jib is just a piece of mail, right? That was programmed to physically deliver whatever that golden disc was, right? To this person, thing, object called Gorn. That's its primary directive, which is why when you had found Jib, it was dying in a sense. It was trying to protect the message because it needs to get the message at any cost, or hide the message or destroy the message. In this case, Jib's programming felt it was more appropriate to hide it. From whom? From what? You don't know. But Jib is literally just a piece of mail assembled in a factory from who knows what type of civilization is able to build this as a mail, as just a mailable object.
Yeah, I communicate that to the rest of the group, but I'm like, I think Jib's just like a really fancy mailman.
Jib the mailman.
Like literally, that's it. Just deliver this mail, and then that's it for Jib.
Jib, what happens to you if you don't deliver the mail?
It's now the mail.
I mean, message. Sorry.
No, it should now be the mail.
It's the mail.
It's the mail now.
Damn it,
That's how
okay,
you
yeah.
discuss it now. You don't ever say gold disc because you don't know who's listening. It's now the mail.
It's
Love
the
it.
mail. We're kids. Everything has to be code.
Totally. Absolutely. Jib's, face orb kind of shifts so it can look over to Tommy.
Primary objective, deliver. Message to Gorn. Failure, not an option, not acceptable. If if Jib were to fail, you could deliver message. Secondary objective. Plan B.
Were we just given the job?
I think he just asked us for help. Jib, I think we were already planning on helping you. That was like already the plan, but I'm glad that we're all in agreement now.
Is the record store open right now?
Yeah, is it late?
It's
Pretty
pretty
late.
late because I think we left off that like it was about 8 o'clock when Bev kind of came home. So with all of the events that kind of have gone down, the wandering, it's probably
Yeah.
getting closer to 10 o'clock at night. So if some of you have curfews,
I want to ask Jib one last question. Jib, do you hear Gorn only when you hear the radio, like shop advertisement, or do you hear it in the radio completely?
Ocean waves. Commercial.
Okay.
Only.
Okay, that answers. I just wanted to make sure it was specifically there, because that cleared up a bunch of questions in my head.
Ocean Waves is having a sale on Metallica
Yeah.
for
Okay.
10% off.
Okay. You're listening to it too much. Here, I'm gonna take out my ham radio, and I'm gonna be like, "Do you know how to use this? You press," and I demonstrate. Like, press the button. When you press this button, you can communicate with all of us, even if we're not here. It's kind of like your radio, but this is directly to us. Okay, Jib?
and Jib kind of like looks at it, processes for a moment, and the orb kind of bounces up and down as if it's
Okay.
nodding.
Don't go outside. If you need something, press the button and reach out to us. Okay? Just take this. And I like hand it to him. I don't know how to use it. I'm just gonna give it to him.
Jib will extend its hand, right, and take the piece, but with its other hand, is going to kind of reach down to its side, right, and lift up the extension cable that's attached to him.
Jib is stationary. Cannot leave power source.
Oh.
We can't even pull any like. Sorry, I was thinking we could like pull some pranks, like taking Jib around, doing some shenanigans, but we can't even get up to that.
Well, no, we if we find a mobile source of energy, we can possibly move him.
Which
Do
I look
we-
very directly at Thomas, and which of us has access to the most intricate form of robotics energies? Oh shit, the robot. Sorry.
We can steal the robot's energy
Okay,
source.
wait, hold on.
Can we steal the robot's energy source?
Listen, you can't just take something that's out there. It's gonna look obvious.
Yeah,
What?
so
Yeah.
It attacked us firstly, so it was self-defense. He's not needing it anymore. He's sleeping right now. Jib needs it to move around more, and I mean, I had some other points, but I forgot them honestly, because the most important point is that we just need to steal robot parts from the robot dinosaur and give it to our alien robot friend, which is a reasonable sentence to make.
GM, with Thomas's knowledge, does he know of the robot if it would have a mobile power source that we can detach, or does he know of any supply warehouse location that his father may own that has energy source parts that's already detached and used for mobile purposes?
Yeah, I would say absolutely, for either of those options. You could kind of gather though that the size of the
I'm trying to think of
the
something
search
that's like,
machine out there
Yeah.
is probably too big. That core,
yeah.
unless you plan on having Jib hold it or carry it around in a wagon, it's not something that can fit within Jib. But yeah, I mean, you have access to your father's stuff. If you start going to your father's factories, like, Dad might be maybe remotely impressed. Maybe, probably not, but like observant that, his son is
taking interest in
taking
the work.
interest in the family business for once. Yeah.
All right, listen. I don't think that robot's core is gonna be small enough. I think it's bigger than Jib itself. But I think my dad has a warehouse not nearby, but maybe it's reachable, that has smaller ones used for like some of those, those farming robots that I don't know if you guys seen, like the smaller ones that pull out the crops. The core for that should maybe fit for Jib, but I don't know how I'm gonna convince anyone to give me one.
Lowen's like rustling in another room and then like peeks out with like a pair of scissors and a screwdriver. So does that mean we're not going to the other one?
No, Lowen, put those away. We're not.
Put the screwdriver in my pocket. Scissors back.
But I mean that's if you guys want to make Jib mobile, that's probably your best option.
Can you take people with you, or do you need to sneak in there alone? Just go there with like a big old backpack, and then when no one's looking, just grab one. Just one. Just
You're
one
asking
toy.
me to steal from my dad.
It's
wanna
your
give it back?
dad. It's not really your dad has to provide for you as a parental unit. Therefore, this is an item you need if you take it from your father. It's not so much taking as him providing.
Billy,
mean,
you're
if-
so smart.
If you told him that you had a secret project that might finally make him proud and you needed a computer core to do it, he probably wouldn't ask.
Oh yeah, doesn't he want you to be more interested in robots and stuff?
Yeah,
Tell
don't
him-
you want him to be proud of you?
Calm the fuck out.
Thomas at this point is both embarrassed and very like, how the fuck do they know this? Like moment.
It's in
And
your
he-
demeanor because you always look sad, and then you talked about your dad knowing bad people.
It is very evident that you have issues with your parents, which
Okay,
is totally
fine, I get
fine
it,
and normal
okay.
for people of our age.
They're
But-
called daddy issues.
It's very normal. You don't need to feel bad about it. But I
Don't
mean,
feel
you can
bad.
use it to your advantage.
I don't feel bad.
Okay,
I have
good.
a great relationship with my dad.
Great.
Wow.
Okay, well,
Wait,
denial is not great, but okay.
my turn. I'm also from Jib's planet. We're lying, right?
I will get the stupid core, and I'll be back here tomorrow. But it's late, and I think we should probably head back because it's late, and I really am I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Can I hug you?
No, don't touch me, Lowen.
Okay. At least I asked. Consent is important.
I appreciate that.
You look nice.
I'm gonna go. And then
You don't look like a square today.
I
You
do
look
appreciate
very-
what you do, Thomas.
Thomas like pauses at the door,
Handsomely oval like.
and then just like you can see his shoulders just drop from like a deep breath, and then just jumps off the cart and then starts making his way back home.
Should I have said rectangular?
I think you made a good choice. And I pat Lowen. I think that was a good
That's just-
stylistically.
Bev turns on
bad
the
boy.
radio and Hungry Eyes is playing.
Yeah.
Dancing.
Love it.
Time to rock out.
So we kind of see the camera, right, kind of shifting out from the hideout of the kids, as Bev and Billy and Lowen are kind of dancing, and Jib is starting to try to mimic their movements with it. We see Tommy and we see Thomas kind of walking back towards home, dragging this big, heavy, clunky backpack with its two gauntlets that are just kind of dragging on the ground behind him, as he has quite a lot to think about. Excuse me. But as the camera fades, right, a new scene appears, and we are above the record store, above Ocean Waves, where you can see Lionel Ocean flipping over the closed sign, turning off the lights, and kind of putting on a big set of headphones as this very basic middle-aged man with just like that nice little kind of like comb over type thing, wearing probably like a Grateful Dead t-shirt and a pair of jeans, as he's starting to close down for the evening. The camera tilts upwards, and we see an apartment complex above the record store. And inside there is a window, right? And we are gonna kind of go through this window. It is a dark lit room. There are just tons of electronic equipment all over the place. Some of it is music gear, some of it's boxes of just like cassettes, beta tapes, VHS tapes, like all just this is probably Lionel Ocean's home above the record store. And off to the corner, though, you see just a little glimmer of light in kind of like this office area. And there is a figure hunched over a desk with only the glow of a massive tube computer screen lighting up the room. And this figure, it has a soldering gun in one hand, and whatever the fucking solder stuff is actually called, solder, I don't know. But they're clearly focused in on circuitry boards. And there is no noise aside from whatever it is that Lionel has blasting downstairs in the store itself. And the figure pauses for a moment in what it's working on, and it looks up. You never get to see what this figure looks like, though. However, as the camera's trying to get a closer look, you can see the reflection in the computer screen. And there are 2, 4, 6 eyes that just open up with a blue light reflecting against the screen. And we're going to end there today.
The fuck?
I don't know. We'll just have to find out what the fuck's going on next week. Are you right, Gabe? You're on fire today, my friend. Good golly, Miss Molly. All of you did so freaking amazing today.
Good roleplay day.
Not planned. This was not a thing that was gonna happen. But thanks to everybody in chat. Y'all made this happen. That scene, we got a little bit more of information that I needed to get out to you today. So thank you all so very much for that. We are going to go around, though. Everybody say who you are, where people can find you, and what projects you have going on this week, because we want to make sure that we are supporting everybody here who is playing. How about Paul? Let's kick it off with you first, buddy.
Hello, I'm Paul. You can find me at A1123 on all platforms: Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, etc., etc. You can find me here on Tuesdays on this amazing show with this amazing cast. This was extremely fun. I love the scenery of this, just the whole like concept of what's happening, and just imagining these little kids who just their worst worries was school, and now their biggest worry is robots chasing them. And it's crazy. I mean, I can tell you right now, these kids are way braver than I am. So it's a lot of fun to play people who are better than you and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun, and I enjoy it. You can also find me on Thursdays on Unmade Gaming's channel with Joey here as we play Space. It is like a soap opera space game, super fun. I play a socially inept ex-assassin, who is just trying to blend in with the normal source of people nowadays, and it's kind of for him it's a struggle between understanding people and understanding murdering people. Aside from that, I am starting a small project called Fireside Adventures, which is a very short burst of DNA. D&D. D&D. It's a one-on-one show about like an hour and a half per whoever signs up. And it's meant for veterans, old, new players, people who just want to have a little bit of fun, but they can't commit to a full series. Basically, I DM a quick scene with them about whatever story they want to tell in the D&D fantasy world. And it's something I've been kind of working up for a while now. It's just a fun little thing. I don't know. It might be fun. It might be a disaster because I don't know how to DM, but it'll be good. It's also a good practice for me. But yeah, that's it. In 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm done.
Nailed it, dear friend. Always a pleasure having you. Just around. Anyways, next up. I love you, Paul. Let's go to.
I appreciate it.
Let's go to our troublemaker, Lauren. Thank you so much. You did great today.
Thank you. I had a ton of fun. I am Lauren. I am that salty ginger over on Twitter. And I'm half of Salty Sweet Games here on Twitch with my best friend Kiana. We do all sorts of tabletop role playing games and some video games Saturdays, Sunday, and Mondays. So it's me.
Well, thank you so much. I'll see you Monday. I'm excited because we're gonna cause some trouble. A lot of trouble. Shifting on over to Gabe. How's it going?
Hi, I am Gabe, Gabe James Games on Twitch, Twitter, and pretty much anywhere else. I'm working on a couple of different things, but you can find everything linked on my Twitter. Ugh. I have a Patreon for my game design stuff called Mythic Grove, where I make fantasy, 5e, and just general supplements. I'm working on a goblin dating sim called Hidden Treasures. I am doing a revamp of my first tabletop role-playing game called Source Code, which is a cyberpunk game. And I am working on a hero game system that actually has adjusted the way that it's played, partially because of playing this game, and I like the way it is, and I like how smoothly it blends. Which I'm probably gonna have an early demo out for that next month. This is a lot of fun. I liked seeing Bev take charge.
That was great. There was some. I can't wait till we go and do Stars and Wishes because all of you tonight just did such a superb job. Oh my goodness. Last but not least, Badass Billy. What's up, Jess?
Oh, hi. Yeah, I'm Jess. You can find me at go_JG in all the places. I too loved Bev being, oh my god, just friggin' rodeo riding that robot. And then Thomas coming in at that clutch moment and Lowen the whole time just friggin' drawing. No matter what's going on, Lowen's making beautiful art. Just our beautiful art child. So precious. But yeah, you can find me at go_JG and pretty much all the places on Twitch, on Twitter, on Instagram. Come hang out. On my channel, we do all sorts of video games, TTRPGs. We do regular Fiasco Fridays. We do a lot of indie game spotlight where we find stuff over on itch.io and just learn to play it on stream and show off cool indie games. Blades in the Dark, a little bit of everything over there. And if you like weird indie games, go check out my itch.io page because I make them sometimes. But yeah, this game is awesome. I already I can't believe I did not guess that Jib was an alien. So good.
Look, I advertised this show. Do you like robots? Do you like robots? Do you like aliens? Well then come on down to Rewind 89 because we got fucking both.
Oh, you did say that, huh?
And dinosaurs.
Oh,
sure.
dang.
Also
True,
kind
you
of
deliver on the
dinosaurs.
dinosaurs too now.
Yeah.
I forgot every piece of that.
Hey, what can I say? This is the 80s. I'm going to throw in everything we possibly can get our hands on.
What about you,
That's
Gnome?
just what it is. Yeah, thanks, Paul, because we'll Midwestern goodbye this shit, and I don't want to do that, because we all have things to go do. My name is Gnome. Thank you so much for joining us today. Big shout out, though, first goes to, Sourcefall, thank you so much for the raid. Much love to you, friend. And to Lily42 and Lady Purple for being super generous and helping us fill up that challenge bar, which basically scripted this entire episode. That was a thing that happened, and if you don't know what the challenge bar is, make sure you join us live next time, because anytime that you tip the stream here while this show is running for Rewind 89, all of that money gets circulated back out to these amazing role players, and it is our way to support them for their hard work and incredible efforts here on the show. So thank you all so very much for that. Also got to give a big thank you to our sponsor, The Awkward Company, for just helping make this show become a thing. Thank you so very much. If you want to learn more about them, I do think I was smart and had a thing that I could link really quick, but I don't remember, so I'm stalling for time. No, I don't think I did. I don't think I did that at all.
Am I able to plug one thing in?
Yeah, you want to play? Please.
Real quick. So,
sure.
for those who don't know, this is kind of an experiment with the Awkward Company where we sponsor a show. It's a short-time show, and just to see how it does. I have in good connections with some of the people there, and it sounds like they are really enjoying it. So if you are a D&D tabletop, 5th edition tabletop creator that wants to do something like this, feel free to reach out to me. We can listen to your pitches, and I would love to see if we can get more shows like this because I really I mean the company really likes the concept of these shows being produced and trying our best to help everyone out. So if you are a content creator that it's like, hey, I have a really cool idea.
Uh-
Go ahead and send an email or whatever. What just happened?
You freeze framed.
I froze?
It was like,
Oh, phenomenal. I'm so glad.
I love how we all had to look at each other's screens. I saw that panic look in all of your eyes because it was in mine too. Oh my god, is it me that just went down? Nope.
See? It's awkward. This is perfect. It's branding. I did
Yep,
that on purpose.
You can't
But yeah.
you can't top that.
And so
That's great.
we would love to see more of this kind of stuff. So feel free to reach out. We can talk. Happy to. We obviously we can't pick up everybody, but we would love to just reach out and see what we can do to help. So yeah, God, I'm so bad with this shit, man.
No, you're fine. You did great. Again, this show wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for your vision and support. So thank you and the Awkward Company so much for really just kind of diving in to the awesome that is the world of TTRPGs. So thank you very much. For me, though, you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. I do TTRPG things and TTRPG spaces. Obviously, I am here every Tuesday for the rest of May running these wonderful people through Tales from the Loop. It is hands down my favorite game, my favorite system ever. So you're going to see a lot more Tales from the Loop throughout the year. What else do I do? On Mondays, you can see, nope, it's this way. I'm never gonna get it right. I'm reverse. You can check out, both Lauren and I over on the Salty Sweet Games channel, where we're playing a 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons game, ran by the incredible Allison Robinson. Definitely check that out. It's a good time over there. Above, come on Thursdays over to Unmade Gaming's Twitch channel, where you can catch Paul and I sobbing uncontrollably because we just keep getting kicked in the face feels, and it hurts so much.
Is so much darker.
So dark.
It's so
So dark.
Gnome's character. I just want you guys to know he's in the pinnacle of life, like metaphorical life and death at this moment. It is so good.
It's so sad.
It's
So sad, and that bleed hurts. Anyways, go check it out if you want to cry, because that's what we do. We love punishing ourselves. If you like space games, Coriolis is the game that we're playing, which is also the same system as Tales from the Loop. It's by the same company, Free League. But on Fridays, you can also catch me back in the GM's chair over on Cantrip Breakers channel, where I am running a fantastic group of Twitch players, or Twitch streamers, through the Lost Mine of Fendelver. So a classic starting kit Dungeons and Dragons game. It's got the dungeons and it's got the dragons, and I just love it so much, and we are having a really good time there. And that is at 1 p.m. So if you need something to do in the afternoon Eastern time, definitely come and check that out. I'm trying to think what else. I'm on a podcast. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of other things that I do. Hit me up on Twitter. That's where all of this stuff is. And thank you all so very much for joining us today. I probably should plug the Patreon real quick. Boom. If you want to keep supporting this channel and keep supporting the things that we do here, become a patron. I don't know. Sometimes we do stuff there. Sometimes. I don't know. It's a thing. Everybody's got one now. But thank you again so very much. Let's go. We're going to go raid. I'm going to take a moment to figure out who we're raiding, so make sure you stick around. Throw some hearts up to whatever channel that we are going to go bounce off to, and it might... Oh, no, it's too early for Unmade Gaming. We'll find somebody. Love you all. Catch you next week. Stay cool. I don't have a good sign out. Just, that's it. That's what it is. Bye. We love you.